Hey, martial arts instructors. It's me back at it again with this upcoming live. And if you're watching this is for you guys. So pay close attention because this is part two on email campaigns. And well, really emails in general, because I feel like a lot of martial arts instructors really leave their audience in the dark by failing to throw out different kinds of campaigns. Okay. So just a little food for thought again. How many of you kind of delve into the non-salesmanship based emails, the kinds that don't really try to sell your audience anything, but rather just kind of take care of running gears in your business, in your practice? Because right now I'm willing to bet that that number isn't a whole lot of you. Again, problems I've noticed with email copywriting, you probably take care of it in-house, which isn't the worst until it becomes just the same type of email all the damn time. The broadcast, the blanket announcement. But here's the other kinds of emails that I want to share with you guys today. So out of all of these, I think only two of them are really sequences, really campaigns, rather than just individual emails. So the first campaign I want to go over is the Reengagement campaign. And this one is like critically important for those of you that don't already have this, because otherwise you're leaving a lot of money. Well, not so much leaving a lot of money, more like you're hemorrhaging money because you're letting your inactive list just kind of sit there and stagnate. Number two is a cart abandonment sequence. And I'll get to what exactly that entails later. Number three is the order confirm email. That's pretty simple. It's transactional. You just talk to them about the recent thing they just ordered in. And number four is the double opt-in. Get to that in a bit. So, re-engagement campaigns. Every email list will have inactive subscribers. You're going to have the guy who signed on, got the lead magnet, probably maybe engaged with the content that you sent them, might have even bought at some point, and then poof, they kind of disappeared off the grid. So this is who the re-engagement campaign is for, people who just kind of popped off the grid. And generally, it's kind of like a check-in process where you're like, hey, are you all right? Which is what the check-in email is all about. And then I prefer to usually follow that up with a confirmation email asking something along the lines of, hey, is this still a good email? If it is, go ahead, respond. And then if those two don't pan out, I go ahead and throw them with the final notice email saying, hey, last chance, maybe you didn't get the first two, but if you're still here, if you're still alive, go ahead, hit reply, and we've got something in it for you. Oh, which is something I should go over with a check-in email as well. Feel free to throw in a small prize, a small goodie with a check-in email if it gets them to re-engage. And after the final notice email, if they don't respond to any of this campaign, then honestly, go ahead and just axe them. Like, cut them out. Don't worry about hurting their feelings or anything, because let's be real, if they're not reading your shit, they probably didn't have too much of an investment with you to begin with. And plus, like I said, having inactive subscribers on your list costs you money just to email blast your entire list if it's a larger than 2,000 list. Now, digital marketer likes to send out 2 re-engagement campaigns, and and I learned the structure from their courses, but personally, I feel like unless you know your crowd to a very like almost creepy extent, 2 re-engagement campaigns might be a bit much. The only time I can justify 2 re-engagement campaigns to an audience is if that audience is already known for being inactive, period, well, infrequently active, more like, with their inbox. So here's what I mean. If your crowd is the kind that's liable to check emails like, every 2 weeks or so, then by all means, 2 re-engagement campaigns doesn't necessarily hurt. But if they're in the kind of position where they're checking emails very regularly, kind of like, your typical American citizen, you don't need 2 re-engagement campaigns. Send 1 re-engagement campaign. If they fail to ever engage with the re-engagement campaign, axe them. Cut down on your costs. There's other readers out there who will probably look into your email list and buy from you. And honestly, your money is better spent serving those guys. Cart abandonment. So this one is great. Like I said, it's great for when people decide to click on your page, put in an order, they get to the checkout page, everything's fine and dandy, they're filling out their information, and suddenly they blue ball you. They just abandoned the cart. Literally right there in the name. They didn't bother finishing the transaction. Something happened. Maybe they got distracted by some other higher priority. Maybe their house is on fire. Well, suddenly on fire. Something happened that took them away from the checkout for a while, and now you gotta hit them back with that. Personally, I like to send out a reminder email saying, "Hey, do you still want this? It's still in your cart, dude." And so long as it's still in your cart, then you might want to finish that or maybe delete it. And then later, I like to follow it up with an email going, "Hey, I noticed you haven't really completed your order yet. Maybe the price isn't right. Here's a little discount code." Now, do note, while this is my preferred sequence, I try to avoid it as much as humanly possible because it already costs a good amount of money trying to bring new people onto your customer base. Well, or in this case, student base. But personally, it's a lot more expensive to bring on new students, to bring on new enrollments, than it is to retain current enrollments. So again, if you have to, you have to. And then after that, I like to follow it on with the last call saying, "Hey, this is me again. You still have your stuff in a cart. If you don't want this, then we're just gonna go and not talk about this. Still there, but we're just gonna SCF you." Now, the re-engagement campaign and the cart abandonment campaign are both targeted towards audiences who suddenly stop engaging. So this is, in a way, a triggered campaign. Actually, it totally is a triggered campaign because it's based off of what your subscribers do. This next one, in fact, the only broadcast campaign I can recommend is the segmentation campaign, because that's literally the only broadcast campaign to begin with. So this one, the order confirm. Now, it's a bit of a mixed bag in all industries in general that I've seen because it's not complicated. You can literally use the autoresponder on whatever the hell platform you sell your service or product on. But the problem with that is a lot of the default autoresponders on, say, Kajabi or whatever, they don't have personality, and you want to max out your mailing list. So if you're going to do that, you definitely want to either write your own autoresponder, or you want someone else who knows you well enough to ghost write your autoresponder, your order confirm. Because the order confirm is a really good chance to kind of give them more of a look into who you are as a person. And to kind of not take advantage of that, it really does leave your audience kind of slightly embittered, because you want to be a lot less mechanical with your marketing, and an order confirm is way too often overlooked. This next one, I love double opt-ins. Okay, love them, because whenever I sign on for an email list and I get this email, it shows me that, okay, these guys really do know their stuff enough to have me go, maybe I should. It sends that initial email where it's like, okay, hey, you're sure you want this? You're sure you want this lead magnet? Yeah, you're sure you want this freebie? Okay, cool. If you do, click this link, confirm your sign up, and we'll go ahead and send it right to your inbox. So you want to confirm your commitment with a double opt-in, because otherwise a single, for lack of a better term, a single opt-in means that you can have a lot of ghosts in your mailing list. You do not want ghosts on your mailing list. Not that early anyway. And like I said, the double opt-in does follow into an in-doc campaign as soon as they hit that confirm. So that's it for today's live cast on email campaigns and emails in general. Stay tuned for the next one, but in the meantime, I'm hosting an Ask Me Anything, an AMA, specifically for instructors who have questions and concerns on their marketing. So if you're a martial arts instructor and you sign on for this is your chance to put me in the hot seat until I keep sputtering I don't knows. And as a bonus, if you RSVP that you're going and you PM me your email address, you'll get the 2 frameworks I made for copywriting and email campaigns. If you use both of these frameworks right, it should give you a clearer picture on your copy structure, even if you're a complete beginner and you have no idea what this copywriting thing is all about. And the second framework, R&R, should give you a framework to set up working email campaigns so you can regularly talk with your audience without getting sent to junk mail by the filters. Like I said before, if you're going to get marked as junk, let it be by some really lazy ass subscriber. You can clear that up in due time, but definitely don't shoot yourself in the foot before you get a chance to get in front of your audience. Again, all this takes place on the AMA itself takes place on May 12th. So again, if you want these frameworks, go ahead and RSVP. I'll see you next time.